track.
Interesting. Where they find these niggas at against the hoes? Stop them. No.
Tom fuckery. Through like a fresh wound. Y'all all bitch over flesh wound. Full of shit to the restroom. Sleep on me, that thing. That clown like a mushroom. Safe sex. Some of y'all need a safe kiss or a safe hug to the safe room. Gum wrap in the candy bar. Thumb like caterpillar. Oh no, not that. Like Caddyshack. Slap slugs from 7. They wing flap was a chicken feather.
All right, testing 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. All right. All right. Yeah. So I mean, I felt me. You know what I'm saying? Need to be done. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some tough love. It's some tough love. You know what I'm saying? So my start dealing with social media. Let me see. Goddamn, man. All right, testing 1 2 1 2. My start dealing with social media really starts with me, um, contacting George Nori and Art Bell. That's Coast to Coast, KFI. And from there, I was contacted by this paleface that worked for a quantum research facility in Oakland, California. So for a couple of weeks, I participated in being an interviewer as a quantum researcher. And I was heavy into the sciences, and they were very much interested in people talking about prophecy and Hebrew stuff and Melchizedek and stuff like that. And that was in 2006. Um, that fell apart. Things happened. Then I moved on to building on Blog Talk Radio. And Blog Talk Radio, my start is 2007. It was me, Chief Liberation, Nikki Love, Anka Keck. SETI came in. Let's see who else was there. A couple of people were there, man. A couple other names that slipped my mind at the time, you know what I'm saying? So at that time, everybody was pro black, Pan African this. But when it came to me and they saw what I looked like, they would always say, man, what are you? You know what I'm saying? You definitely mix, you real light skinned. They would say, "Are you Puerto Rican?" And I would always say that, yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? Most of my family are from here. They're from America. And yes, I used the phrase Native American at that time. So anybody can go out right now and contact Anka Keck, and he will tell you, man, Lotus been talking about this Native American Indian stuff since 2007, 2008. Like I've always stated that, but I had the wrong ideal. Just like many people feel, oh, you have straight hair, you got Indian in your family. Oh, you have a lighter shade, you have Indian in your family. And it wasn't until I received my rights from my father in 2015 that I was told that my what we call Native American side, which I only had two ancestors that would be considered Native American, that are, I have that as my Matthew Douglas Craig avatar. That's actually my ancestor. That those aren't the people from here, that the original people who are from here are actually fully melanated. So I had a great deal of, discomfort and before that. I had a great deal of discomfort in accepting that I had ancestry from here. I had that whole Pan African stuff. And when I first started really dealing with it and, discovered that like damn, majority of my ancestors are from here. That was 2011. I literally went on a soul searching, become a man situation, and I moved down to Arkansas. So in 2011, I said, man, I can't continue, going down this path because that would make me a liar. That would make me a fraud. If I continue down this path, that I need to deal with the fact that my ancestors are from here. And that was very hard for me because when you're light skinned, you want to be accepted. Some people are light skinned, they just want to go with the flow, and they can go hang out with every other nationality and be successful, and some of them go get a little pale face Becky or something or like that. But I never had taste for that. I love my melanated sisters. I love a sister. I could never see myself being with anything other than a melanated sister. As you know, as the song goes, Feather Girl. So it's like my, but even before that, I still had in my mind that most of my ancestors were from America. The problem was with the culture. I have always hated Native American culture. Now, you know what? Let me rephrase that because there's a whole lot of little hate stuff going on right now. So I'm like, hey, I don't hate the Native American culture. Let me take that back. Let's just say I knew that the Native American culture was fake because my mother's father told me that when I lived in Sacramento, California, Del Paso Heights area, going to Grant Union High School with Matt Barnes and a couple other athletes that went pro. Cool brothers, you know what I'm saying? Have fun, enjoy. They know who I am. You say my name, they know who I am. And he showed me a picture of his great grandfather. I get the greats mixed up sometimes, y'all. And showed the picture that this, he was wanted. And I was like, damn, this ancestor's melanated, you know what I mean? And you looking kind of like Tonto, Grandpa. What's going on here? He said, oh no, this is your ancestor from here. Wanted. What was he wanted for? What was going on? Oh man, he had one of those titles that they call Tadodaho. And he was one of the people wanted because he was fucking pale faces up. Like, damn. And yeah, so I'm like, well, why aren't you practicing the culture? Like, why would you be into Christianity and all that stuff? Oh, because that Native American stuff is fake. So when I got into being a Pan African, before 2011, in 2012, I came back as an Afrocentric. In 2011, I had in my mind that all Native American stuff is fake. Anka Kek was on some TV show with some Native American saying all kind of shit. I was giving Anka Kek information to beat up that Native American dude. Name was something Wolf. I don't even remember the dude's name. He was saying all kind of bogus ass shit. I was debunking the hell out of him. 2009, 2010. Again, y'all go reach out to Anka Kek. I'm a Raw Squad, all that. Before he was I'm a Raw Squad, he'll tell you like, oh man, Lotus was Amun Rakati was talking about hollow earth, flat earth decade ago. Like I've been talking about a lot of shit, man, for a while. But I was more happy to see other people talk about this shit because now I could have this conversation with other people. I grew up in a home where with a mother and father who said the moon landing was fake. So now I get to talk to people about this stuff. My sister, who I brought on my Instagram, her husband's uncle has worked for NASA. I think he's retired. He worked for them for over 30 years. Been in the medical field. I took care of the man who designed the lens for the so-called satellites that NASA sends in space. I've been gone to NASA plenty of times. I even seen the pool where they make you think that they're in space, but they're really sitting in water. Like I've seen it. I've touched it. I've been there. Done. Gone there. I'm from Pasadena, California. That's CIT, NASA JPL, Tetra, Parsons, and many other things. Hell, damn near ground zero for the Shashamonga. You know what I'm saying? Let me show some other stuff too. So, but anyway, let me get back to the story. So, I go on my little journey. I learned how to build a house down in Arkansas. I get to meeting people from Arkansas, fully melanated, telling me they're Cherokee. The people I live with are Cherokee. I get to see all the black and white pictures. I go to Sowerson Lake. I see the black and white pictures of the area, the old structures there. This is in 2011. On my Facebook page, I have pictures of when I was out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I love documenting my stuff. So 2011 comes. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this stuff. It's disrespectful to my ancestors to continue on as this Pan-African stuff. I started finding out that Pan-Africans are really they hate America, they hate Africans. Like whenever they're out there saying that slave trade is real and transatlantic slave trade and those Africans sold us in slavery, I started talking to people on the continent about that. They said that those people saying that hate them. So it was just it was conflict. It was very conflicting. Didn't know what to trust. Didn't know what to believe. And a brother from Cameroon who was coming on to my blog talk show, reached out to me. Me and Hanouk. Hanouk was done. Hanouk is not a Romo. Let's call the real names. Mangola, who's living out there in D.C. And he was telling me like basically he's tired of the fake shit with the Pan Africans and even his people fake as hell. That his Ethiopian people come to America and they want to marry pale faces and they want to go along with get along with America and how they all put white on their passport. You know what I'm saying? These are my co-hosts, man. These are the people who I'm building and sharing information with, debunking the hell out of everything in Europe. Hagos Alamiyahu. I got love and respect for Hagos Alamiyahu. He married a pale face. He has white on his passport. That was the first person to tell me, don't call yourself black or African. After Seti and Aline Bey had their debate, we brought on Aline Bey. Yeah. So when we talked about that Islam situation, the Islam and Moors, we brought Aline Bey on. So if y'all know who Aline Bey is, man, much love to Aline Bey. You know what I'm saying? We don't really talk. I fell out with a lot of people, y'all. So 2012, I'm like, you know what? If I do come back, I'm going to have to talk more and I'm going to have to be honest. So in 2012, that's when the journey it's a real journey, y'all. I went in on the Royal Society, made a lot of mistakes. I've corrected myself on a lot of those mistakes, but I made a lot of mistakes. So I went in on the Royal Society. I went in on science. I explained that we need to focus on technology and engineering, that the word science is just a fancy ass word to get all philosophical and shit and quote some damn Greek philosophers and say a bunch of fucking feel good shit, you know. And I'm anti feel good talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm anti feel good talk for real. I don't give a damn what makes you feel good. The truth gonna hurt. Damn it, pain lasts but a moment. I'd rather deal with the pain now than get all my hopes up and live a long life and then be hurt and damn near have a heart attack because the damn truth hurt my ass so damn much. So that's what I'm gonna give y'all today. So basically, after 2012, y'all, that's still a decade ago. I went in on the Visigoths. I went on everything Gothic, everything Tartar. I went in on that shit, saying, man, these motherfuckers didn't build none of this shit, and it's recorded. It's all there, y'all. It's all there. But I did that because I wanted everybody to know the truth. When I came back, I said everybody. Like I didn't even care what nationality you're from. I said I want everybody to know the truth. I'm like all this just being African shit and all that. Like that shit's got to end because my ancestry is from here. You know, so we need to start talking about this whole planet. You know, and since then I said this is our planet. We can't just claim America. We built all this shit. Everything has our fingerprint on it. And if it doesn't have our fingerprint on it, it has a carbon copy of our fingerprint. So I wanted to dig into everything possible. You know, I left no stone untouched. There's very few things that people can talk about. There are things that people can talk about that I don't know about. And I gladly admit, man, that's the first time I heard of that, man. God, man, shit. I appreciate it. So it's about being righteous. You know what I'm saying? Righteousness. That's the reason why I share the information with honorable aboriginals who are taking the information to a next level. I don't want to share the information with somebody that's going to coddle the shit and make sure nobody else knows about it. Nah, somebody that's going to do the right thing with the information. I don't really need credit for that stuff. Now, if it's something that I have put the work in and paid money for, that I invented, innovated, and discovered myself, that's another story. But this information is for everybody. And I feel right now that people are not being honest about the linguistics dealing with these Native American languages. And that's why I have that title like that. And I have to share this with everybody. So once we know that okay, all right. So we went from Hotep to Halito, you know, without taking one footstep. We went from uh uh Alafia to Osio, or whatever the hell they say. What's the one in Ghana? Unyamewa, whatever the fuck. Michiamo. We went from Michiamo to Osio. There we go. We went from Michiamo to Osio and Orisha. You know. By the way, people don't even know how to pronounce these words. It's not Orisha, it's not Orisa, it's Orisha. And that's the difference. How are we gonna learn culture, tradition, linguistics of our ancient scripts or our ancient language if we do not have an ancestor to give it to us? When I started digging into the Seneca language, I had to watch Seneca videos and listen to some damn Tontos. Hold on, let me make sure this shit is loud and clear. Mike, how are we gonna learn culture, tradition, linguistics? All right. I had to watch some damn Tontos talking about it. And then when I got my hand on the dictionary, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers are full of shit. Let me not use too much profanity too. I don't want to tank this stuff. Excuse me, y'all give me a moment. Had to get some fine wine in my cup. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So, from 2012, when I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start releasing stuff. And I started debunking, the science societies, the scientific societies, which is the Royal Society. I started debunking the theologian societies. I started debunking the Islamic societies. I started debunking the Midrash, the Qual. I went after I went after it all. I don't even want to go into all the name stuff because I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm saying. So basically, I went after every single thing that I could from a genuine point of view as I could, because I felt that you know what I'm saying, I want to make sure that when I return back to the ancestors, they're like, thank you. I don't want them to be like, man, that was fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? You just came back to us with this information. We already know this shit. The living needs to know this. So I'm here to leave a legacy. A legacy. So I started digging in everything. I dug into the Quran. And then I had the interview with Walter Williams. Interview Walter Williams in 2015, right after I helped both the Hebrew and the Kemetic side in Kemet on trial. Now, Polite can go whine and bitch and complain, whatever ceasefire he wants me to have with his ass or whatever that shit is. Complain about the fact that he had no knowledge of Contra Appian. He didn't even know what the name was on Contra Appian. He had no idea about the information. We interviewed Brother Reggie about 5 times on my Blog Talk channel. It's 2015, 2014, and 2015. And because they started seeing, what I was putting together, because normally I brought people on and just interviewed them. I wasn't the person sharing information and knowledge. I was just, learning and listening and learning. That's, if you don't start out listening and learning and you just, everything like that. I know some elders right now, they got an answer for everything. And if you go to my Blog Talk show, you're going to find that I'm knocking them down. I knocked down Mesopotamia. I knocked down the information we have on Atlantis and Lemuria too. I knocked down the information we have on Olmec. I knocked down the information we have on the ancient Egyptian stuff, ancient Greek, ancient Rome. I knocked down the stuff about ancient China, ancient Japan. Knocked down the stuff about, well, you already saw the Visigoth stuff. I went completely in on that shit. Exposed the hell out of that shit in the Gothic Bible. So I was like, you know what? I just want the world to know that these things are lies, that we need to re-examine this stuff for ourselves. We need to find out what really happened. We can't let Paleface have the final word. We need to get out here and dig our feet into the location and dig for ourselves. So 2015, bring on Walter Williams, and we go over a great deal of information. And we challenged the hell out of Walter Williams. And we, we gave Walter Williams, we gave him a run for his money. So Walter Williams was, saying he had to give up some information. And when he gave up the Alliance Israelite Universally, that was it. From there, with me, I said, man, this was the missing piece to the confusion in the information. The AIU, Alliance Israelite Universally, is the source to when they brought over the Tartar people, aka the Golden Horde, aka the people who we call Mongolian, but can't really call them Mongolian. We got to call them really what they are, Slavs. And they brought them over here in large numbers. And I got to see the Bloodly Bell. I got to see that they were the ones putting all the information together. And I said, God damn, okay. So then I was able to debunk Leo Africanus. Then I was able to debunk the Paganinis, father and son, supposedly putting together the Quran. And the so-called Christian Jew who put together a Quran using the Paganinis. And the so-called Jesuit at the time putting it together in the 16th century. Getting it down to the Catherine the Great. And the Mullah making a Quran and finding out that there's no evidence of these Qurans existing until the 20th century. They find all this stuff magically in the 20th century. And that even when it comes to, what the hell's the dude name? Gustav or whatever the hell dude name is, man. I don't even, I'm having a brain fart. So in 1834 or 1836, probably took like 2 years, supposedly the authorized Quran is written by a Jew. We can't find that. So you have to go look into the printed books of the Quran. Damn, I'm having a brain fart. I ain't gonna leave y'all like that. So let me go. I'm probably gonna remember. Gustav Flugel. Yeah, I knew I would. Okay, so Gustav Flugel. Let me make sure it didn't mess me up. Oh yeah, here they go. Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me leave and go back in. I'm probably gonna remember. Gustav Flugel. Yeah, I knew I would. All right, that's not too bad. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay, so Gustav Flugel. Make sure it didn't mess me up. All right, that's cool. So Gustav Flugel, 1834, supposedly writes the authorized Quran, and there's no evidence of that. And then you have from 1919 to 1924 a Quran created in Egypt. Big problem with that. They wrote all the history, all the Islamic history, all the Arabic history from the periods of Flugel. You understand? All that Islam shit was created in the 19th century, and it wasn't even accepted until the 20th century. Do y'all know that when it comes to our brothers and sisters over here in America, that they were using the Seven Circle Quran? That they were using what Noble Drew Ali put together? And it wasn't until the establishment of the Nation of Islam and all that stuff where they actually had a Quran. But that's I'm not gonna go into the details of that. Y'all can go look it up for yourself. When they put that nonsense together. But it's because I communicated with an elder that I was able to get access to that information. That same source of information led me to the Dayhurst colony, led me to the bringing over of 90,000 what we call Ashkenaz, what we call Golden Horde, what we call Tartar people, who are Siberians. The actual records of them being brought to America by the Dayhurst colony. That is, those are the Native Americans. They took them to Brazil. They took them to Argentina. Now, Walter Williams didn't talk about that. So when it comes to that information, nobody's repeating it. Why is nobody repeating it? Why is nobody repeating that it was the Dayhurst colony that brought over Siberians and Sicilians? Why is nobody repeating that when they started doing their Hollywood movies and you go look it up, it's going to say that they're Jews? Why is nobody repeating this stuff? So I'm finding a little odd that nobody's saying, yeah, man, you have the Dayhurst colony. Boom, Dayhurst colony brought over 90,000 people. 9,000 of 90,000 people. Well, it was 70. It was a 70, then 11, and then 9,000. And then little sprinkles here and there. They were still bringing people here until World War II. Here to America. Replacing our shit. So, 2015, I'm finding out this information. And I'm like, shit, hold on. My grandfather told me the Native American information is fake and it's a cover up, and that they have created history and in languages and all this stuff using what we had here, but they brought some pieces of stuff from other places too. And he didn't want to be a part of it because he knew it was fake, so he chose to be a Christian. I'm like, damn, but that's fake. I didn't have that information at that time. I was 16. All I could do is go out like, okay, that's the right answer. All right, cool. I'm about to go read the Smith's Bible Dictionary. I'm going to go read the Bible. I'm going to go along with it because this is my grandfather at 16. So, seeing that the Alliance Israelite University, working with the Rothschilds, two Rothschilds, by the way, working with Chancellor Metternich, working with Charles Netter, and a great deal of other names, were the people that were bringing this whole Native American paradigm to America. At the same time they're doing this, there's a man by the name of Eliezer Ben Yehuda who goes and creates the Hebrew language and invents bold font Hebrew. They don't know what those symbols mean, but they apply the alphabet to it. And now people are under the impression that those symbols have something to do with Hebrew. You're wrong. Like I said, it's tough love today. It's tough love tonight. Yeah, we think that this Arabic shit is some real shit. You out here, marhaba, hajjan, and abdabala, whatever the fuck bullshit. It's fake as hell. That Hebrew shit fake as hell. Those fucking names are fake as hell. The way that we're describing these Hebrew symbols is some fake ass shit. Those Arabic symbols is calligraphy. They went from calligraphy to orthography. It's fake ass shit. But on my blog talk show, I put this shit out 7 years ago. Why is nobody mentioning it? Because there's a big ass cover up going on, and that shit needs to be dealt with. If we're not Tonto, if we're not Iron Eyes fucking Cody, then why the fuck are we trying to use their language? Why the hell are we repeating their bullshit? I understand people like saying Turtle Island, but that's their bullshit. I read it a few weeks ago. The Iroquois dug a hole in the fucking firmament and moved the tree and fell from the sky and fell down to the turtle and started throwing fucking dirt on the turtle and made the fucking planet Earth. They made that shit up in the fucking 1930s. Eliezer Ben Yehuda created the Hebrew language. Look him up. It's not even his real damn name. Eliezer Ben Yehuda, working with Miguel de Unamuno, used those Hebrew names and created a Christian form of this shit. They did this shit in the late 19th and early 20th century. We gotta let this shit go. You know what? I personally feel the reason why we're not completely breaking free of the bullshit is because we still are attaching ourselves to the bullshit. If we're not Native Americans, why the fuck are we attaching ourselves to their fake ass fucking stories? If we're not Native Americans, why the fuck are we attaching ourselves to their bogus ass fucking language? When I put out that Seneca shit, a fucking $5 piece of shit comes and attacks me. He's a part of a hate group Seneca. He's part of a hate Seneca group and attacks me and says that I'm doing basically an injustice to his language because I'm exposing it and I'm not pronouncing it the way they do. The men pronounce the words the way females do. They're very dainty and you know what I'm saying? They're very colorful. They're with the boy fuckery. I know better. So I teach better. So I want to make sure everybody gets this shit clear. So I'm going to show a list of languages that are all tainted. They all have Ashkenaz. And I'm going to show you the Ashkenaz And I'm going to show you, you cannot talk about these Native American. This is why these Native American motherfuckers can come and talk shit right now. This is why they can come talk shit. We out here like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? We will speak language. My fathers, they didn't think this shit is a game. There's a very, very important. We weren't running around saying Halito and Osio to each other. We weren't running around saying Unyawe Sagano. You know, that's why I didn't put up the whole Sado Gueta and all that type of shit today. This is what we were doing in the 19th century. Okay, I have a picture of every page. I first shared this book in 2017. Really before that, I first shared this book. My other one at the book with this information in 2013. Okay, if you go look up Tartar people and look up Slovak people, you're gonna find a motherfucking Hillary Clinton picture. Same fucking shit. We gotta start calling this stuff by the original names, which is very hard because you gotta make sure you're not using no goddamn Tonto Cody fucking word in the way that they're saying this shit, man. How can you get away from it? You know? So, you know what I'm saying? My relatives told me to do this. Most of the information and knowledge that I got came from my relatives. I have been sharing information for a while. Not because I want people to look at me. It's because I want to make sure that when I join my ancestors, I corrected a horrible mistake that our great grandparents did till now. Letting this bullshit happen. Here you see the message when I put out the Seneca information. You see it right there. That motherfucker was big mad. Hell yeah, you mad. I would too. They shut down my channel. I just want to make sure everybody get it. I know only 29 people up in here. According to Sister Bethy, there's something I'm not doing right. People don't like me. Wow, like that's new to me. So, I don't know why people, I guess, you know, nobody saw this shit. I don't know. I don't know. Mike, check 1, 2, 2. I just want to make sure everybody get it. I know only 29 people up in here. According to Sister Bethy, there's something I'm not doing right. People don't like me. Wow, like that's new to me. Just like 7 years ago, 7 months ago, last year, I came in talking about world fairs. Tourist attractions, Tartars being racist. That Tartar shit is racist. They're trying to remove us from being the people who put this shit together. And if it wasn't for big Aboriginal power, that word, this information wouldn't reach more people. Y'all, it's about getting the information to everybody. Nobody owns the information. It doesn't matter that I came out 12 years ago. Do you know how much stuff I've had to correct from 12 years ago? It's ridiculous. I can't even, some of the stuff from 12 years ago, I can't, it's so bad I can't correct it. But anyway, people think they know about, yeah, it's tough love tonight, y'all. People think they know about Aztec, Inca, Olmec, Cusco, and all that stuff. My brother married a Mayan. I have firsthand knowledge from the people. My other brother married a Baja Californian. First-hand information from the people. I'm sitting on the information. When the time is right, I will slowly release the information. The information is going to show and prove that all the shit they put out and the way the monuments and everything really look is a fucking lie. But I have to make sure I do it in the right way. I want to make sure everybody understands what's going on here. Man, what the hell? I'm showing the wrong shit. All right. All right. And let me chill out. Where's the shit at? Okay. Here's a list of all of the languages that Tonto, Iron Eyes Cody, Paleface, what's dude name? What's his name? Charles or something. Well, I'm gonna show y'all some of the other ones. All of them. All of these languages that you're looking at are tainted. The definitions are tainted. If it doesn't say literally next to the definition, you're getting bullshitted. Read them. I want to make sure everybody take a long look. Don't trust none of these languages. Is Seneca not there? Yes, it is. The people are hiding the fact that they put the English language together. Y'all have to check out the first horror show. All these languages. Don't use these languages. Don't use their greetings, their partings, their ceremony words. Don't go on no damn powwows trying to say this shit. All of these languages have been touched by Tonto, Cody, Paleface, all of them, especially the first ones. They got it nice and neat in alphabetical order to let you know they are mind fucking you. Gotta have a moment of silence. All these languages gotta fucking go. All of them gotta go. What do we do now? Okay. Well, I get a slideshow presentation tonight. Y'all want to donate $10 for all them damn languages that they have tainted and made you think that Latin and German and Greek and French haven't used these words? In the Seneca language, I found names like Wanda, Wild Nisha. That's Nisha. I know some sisters named Wanda. I know some sisters named Nisha. Shanae. A list of names. I dated a girl named Shanae. Sister. So when it comes to these languages, y'all, but hey, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. Honorable admiration to 111 Truth. You've been trying to warn people. Y'all gotta watch using these languages. These are some Siberian ass languages. Moscow School of Comparative Linguistics. Why is a person who is putting together? I'm gonna come back to this. In fact, let me step away from this. Let me step away from it. Let me do this in order. Hold on. It should take it forever. Look at that big eared weirdo that I had up there. Edward Sapir. Fucking Slavs. Hold on, it's taking forever to get on my little screen, man, y'all. So, okay, I'm going to let y'all know now. I have studied Beja. I have studied Berber. I don't even want to say the original name and confuse anybody. I studied Berber language. I still study the Berber. I still study the Berber language. I study the Beja language. I still study the Beja language. The Berber words in languages, their older languages, have OWIN in them. So even though the Siberians are claiming to have these languages, it originally comes from Berbers. This is the only reason why Algonquin has Hebrew in an Arabic connection. The only reason why it has a connection was because they made the fucking Hebrew language up in the damn late 19th century and early 20th century. But you see it right here. Algonquin. You see Moeen, Oween, Meween at the end. Okay, that's Berber. That's Berber. That's Tamil. That's Dravidian. Let's be real. Let's not play games. Dayhurst Colony brought Siberians and Sicilians to Argentina, Brazil, the 13 colonies, and Canada. Argentina, Brazil, 13 colonies, and Canada. Make sure that shit sinks. If there's only, since 2006, 2,680 Algonquin speakers, then what the fuck are they talking about? I gotta be real, man. I gotta be real. There's a reason why I say Shashamonga. It's the reason why I went after the languages and I have my own personal sources for the languages. There's the reason why I'm not using Tonto. I'm not using Cody. Sapir was born in German Pomerania. Poland. Okay? Let's look at this shit, yo. I want everybody pay attention. I'm gonna read this shit, y'all. Look at this. His family immigrated to the United States of America when he was a child. He studied Germanic linguistics at Columbia, where he came under the influence of Franz Boas, who inspired him to work on Native American languages, not translate, not get the languages from our people to work on Native American languages. While finishing his PhD, he went to California. I fucking wonder why. To work with Alfred Crowbert, documenting the indigenous languages there. In what state? Cali motherfucking Fornia. The Sun Queen. He was employed by the Geographical Survey of Canada for 13 years, where he came into his own as one of the most significant linguists in North America. This is not the first time I've seen this shit. I've just been letting this sit on the shelf. Now back to this old bogus looking weirdo. This shit gonna hurt. It's supposed to. It's the hardcore truth. It's beyond fact. It's the empirical data to the information. If we're not fucking Native Americans, then stop using fucking Native American story, history, and linguistics. What does it say? Slavic. What does it say? Slavic. One more time. What does it say? Slavic. You don't see that shit in the fucking Seneca dictionary. I'm gonna show that shit too. Y'all bear with me. Slavic. Accentology and dialectology. He is the author of a number of books and articles on Indo-European studies, accentology, and Slavic dialectology. Nikolaev is Dr. Nauk in philosophical sciences. He also a major figure in Moscow School of Comparative Linguistics. So when you deal with the Seneca language, where the hell's this shit at? Where I put that shit at? This is why the Seneca language supersedes all the other fucking languages, and it still has the bullshit. It still has their fingerprint on it. All right, I gotta load it up, y'all. Hold on. Goddamn, chair, fucking squeaky as hell. Once again, do not trust any of these languages. All these languages have Slovak, Siberian, Sicilian touch. You see, dialectologists, accentologists, a fucking Slav. So we're gonna talk about the Slavs. By the way, I was the first person talking about Slovak people in 2013. I don't know who the fuck else was talking about them before that. Please post their name in video for information about it. I talked about Slovak people in 2013. I talked about every single page in that book. In fact, I was debunking the hell out of some Pan-African motherfuckers where I showed the birth certificate in the book. You can't go get this book from no fucking library. And a motherfucker saw the name and contacted the fucking the Family Heritage Book Society, and the family literally came to me and asked me to return their father's book. He was under my care. There it is. So when you look up these names, you see some $5 Tonto motherfuckers and some mestizos. At least in the Seneca language, they still have the original fucking words. They don't have no fucking Slovak motherfucker. So if you want to go and be into the whole all the other languages that are on here, keep in mind it is Slovak. It is. It has the fucking the Gustav Flugel touch. It has the Eliza Ben Yehuda touch. It has the Miguel de Unamuno touch. Enough is enough, man. We're not gonna break free, still attaching ourselves to their body calling this land Turtle Island. But that comes from the fucking Slovak. That shit's fucking Slav talk. Anybody talking about California, um, like they know about the history of California or whatever, and they can't tell you why the fuck California was underwater 200-300 years ago, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Why are they not talking about this when we're talking about the Civil War? here. There it is. So all that using the conquistador story, like they were over here in California and on the Pacific side of Mexico and all that. Y'all ain't done no real research, man. So I'm giving this to y'all so y'all can see it for yourself. That California was an island. Hell, water was flowing all through California. When you look at this book I have here, my book at California, a lot of California was underwater. Los Angeles was underwater. I'll be dropping this too soon. Like I said, I don't need to watch no fucking goofy ass motherfuckers videos, man. I put the work in. You know, I actually go to locations. And I do this for everybody. Yeah, sure, I'm attaching my name on it. Yeah, you damn right I am. Yeah, it's a Matthew Douglas Craig discovery. But at the end of the day, now you have it. So anybody's thinking that you know what I'm saying, that oh man, he's just having, oh man, somebody was doing it before. Fuck no, nobody was doing this shit first. No. Nobody was going to fucking landmarks, historical landmarks and shit in California and putting down this information and going to Native American nations and talking to the motherfuckers. Nobody was. I know because they fucking told me. They said nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn. So I got the edge, y'all. So here it is, y'all. Y'all want to get the book? Yeah, to rip the damn page of the damn book off. Element Encyclopedia of Secret Societies from A to Z. I'm sitting on a great deal of information, y'all. I'm sitting on a great deal of information. Ain't nobody, I got stuff in this book I have never heard anybody, not a Moor, not a Pan-African, not an Afrocentric, not even any Aboriginals, talk about the shit in this book. And it's a cheap ass book. Ain't nobody talking about that shit. But I'm just sitting on it, man. I'm just waiting. I gotta wait for the community to mature. Hopefully, I'll still be alive if it takes that long, so I can bust this book out and start sharing it. Hey, man, look at this. This connect. This connects to this. This connects to this. Connecting all the dots. Again, y'all, go get this book. Fuck these languages. You know, fuck these fucking languages, man. Fuck their stories. Fuck trying to connect yourself to these fucking so-called tribes that are connected to these fucking languages. It's fucking bullshit. Go get this book. Who the fuck showed this book? I would please post them in the chat. In this book, you get to expose W.B. Du Bois punk ass. You get to expose when they started saying that African American portrait bullshit. And you get to see that it doesn't even say African American on the original stuff. You get to see the details of them burning all the records. And that this is the stuff that was collected during the 1900s. Nobody's been showing this shit, man. This is our true greatness. This is the last of our true greatness. Dig into the names in these books. Start reaching out to these people. Let me show it again. That's these pages are in that book. W.E.B. Du Bois put a lot of that slave bullshit in there. He slid this shit in there too. I've been sharing this page right here since 2013. Been sharing this since 2017. This information is for everybody. I didn't write the book. These people wrote the book. Where is it at? There you go. Go get this book. Costs a couple $100, maybe $250. Go get this book. You want to see your greatness, the greatness that we still had 120 years ago? What when we had control in order, it still had it. It was still fighting even after that. Go get this book. You want to restore your greatness and see what we did while we were inventing and innovating? Get this book. All right, man. Just sharing some tough love. You know, it's stuff need to be said. Look. Here go the Seneca shit. A bunch of Tontos and Codys and a couple of mestizos. Here go all the languages. They got Tonto's fingerprints on it. And here go the people that tell you how to pronounce it. Some goddamn Slavs. We went right back into the trap. Halito, Osio. You might as well say Slav greeting, Slav bye bye. That's what the fuck you might as well say. Because it's their shit. So the reason why you're in, man, I think I said it enough. I don't even need to say it anymore. What I can say is, why didn't Mr. Dane Calloway, who want to say OCO every time he started his video, why didn't he talk about this? How the fuck are you saying OCO, saying we ain't Native Americans, but your fucking OCO comes from some damn Slavs who were brought over here by the Dayhurst colony? The last places in America to be conquered were Arizona, Nevada, the borders of California. The last places to be conquered. All right, brothers and sisters, going all down Mexico, Baja California, Honduras, Panama, El Salvador. Call them tethered, call them what you want. But I know for a fact they still have their languages intact. They still have it. Fuck these languages, y'all. And the only reason why I use Seneca is because they still have literally next to it. That means they have an etymology next to it. And that damn Tonto boy, girl, can't even tell if it's a boy or girl, come on saying, oh, we both have feminine and masculine way that the men and women talk. You weirdo. You little boy fuckeries. You real colorful motherfuckers. They're nasty, y'all. These languages are on my list. When I started doing a Seneca language, I was already looking at this, y'all. I started teaching the Seneca language when I was in Indiana, and that's what 2018. I was already looking into this stuff, man. Like, damn, looking into the Seneca language and admitting I'm not trying to pronounce these words the correct way, because if I pronounce these words the correct way, I'm pronouncing it the colorful way, the Slovak way. I'm not doing that. I'm not, it's being disingenuous. So what happens is this: Seneca still has some genuine words in there. That's why you can pull Latin, French, and English and the so-called German right out of it. When you dig into Algonquin, which they put together, this man right here, this man right there, they put it together. You can cut it off and just go straight to the Berber dictionary. How did I deal with the Seneca language? I had to go to the Beja dictionary. Then I had to reach out to the Beja people. When I lived in Indiana, before I, got in my own little situation there, I had to rent a little spot, share the house with some people. One of the people that I shared the house with was a Berber. Hey, check this shit out. He's literally telling me that's his shit. So I'm telling y'all, man, it's man, it's time, man. I got it. And you know what? This is only the beginning, y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100. It's the only beginning, y'all. Only the beginning. The language that's called Seneca is not even called Seneca. The so-called name that they try and tell you that, oh, it's really called this name, they know it's not. A lot of this shit is these definitions and the way they pronounce it, they made that shit up. But when it says literally, it's some damn mestizos, some assholes like me that were still living in those areas, still dealing with those people that went along with the $5 Indian stuff. I personally know because my father's sister did. So, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to these languages, you know, and the people, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as being insensitive or jealous or anything about linguistics. This shit does not exist in linguistics. It's simple. One day I bought an Ede Awo dictionary. I still have pictures of it. Lost the shit. I bought an Ede Awo dictionary, right? And this is a Yoruba dictionary. I contacted Olabisi. You saw I had Olabisi on my blog talk show 8 years ago. That's how I know a lot of Yoruba shit's fake, because I got it from an Ile Ife. Yoruba, that name is fake. When I showed him a picture of the dictionary, he said, throw that shit away. When I shared that fucking Seneca shit with my aunt, she said, that's some Siberian shit. When I was talking about the Algonquin and Cherokee and all that shit, Siberians. All Siberians. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to reach out. You got to find the brothers and sisters of the feather that live in Central America and find out what languages they speak. You got to reach out to the people, y'all. Dealing with our culture and our history and trying to attach yourself to a tribe that is going to take you right back to this motherfucker and this motherfucker. If you think they gave you the truth, cool. Go ahead and believe that shit. I don't. So today I wanted to share this with everybody so everybody can have a clear-cut understanding of why I picked the Seneca language, why I don't call myself a silly ass Seneca name, why I don't call myself a Algonquin name or a Cherokee name, why I'm really not all, turned up about the shit. But when I say Shashamonga, I'm turned the fuck up. And when I pull out the words that have literally behind it to show and prove some shit, it's because there's something that's been validated by my own relatives. You got it, y'all. Find y'all relatives, y'all aunts, uncles, grandparents that are still calling themselves these certain nicknames, still using these certain names, still talking about like, yeah, still alive and she still speaks some of the words. Reach out to them. Because going online and getting these bogus ass fucking languages, you ain't gonna get shit. Again, y'all, reach out to the people in Central America. They are holding a missing key to a lot of languages. I kept my information about the Beja people in the Beja language. They moved from Canada to Sudan. A lot of them started returning back to Canada. They returned back. So I'm telling y'all, man, it's a complicated thing, but I'm trying to save everybody the strenuous work of having to deal with the fact that when you're trying to attach yourself to all those languages on there and all the tribes on there, trying to call yourself Seneca or Oneida or Onondaga or Algonquin or Anishinaabe or Aninuia, that you're getting it from that white boy Charles, that pale face Charles. Uh, you got Slovak. Well, I don't even want to pronounce that Slovakian shit, man. Fuck them Slavs. And this Slav. That's them, y'all. So when the Native Americans come out saying, or these confused ass Pan Africans, oh, y'all culture misappropriating, y'all some culture vultures, y'all trying to take their language and y'all trying to take their culture, and I have to agree with them. So if we're not the Native Americans, let's stop trying to claim Native American history. Let's stop trying to use Native American languages. Go find your melanated people that live in America, Central America, and the islands in South America that still have their languages. Yeah, some of our people left America and did go to Africa. It don't mean that we came from those places in Africa to here. It means some of our people left from here to Africa. Yeah, I talk about the American Colonial Society and all that shit from John Brown Russworm, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000. The records to prove that shit are burnt the fuck up. I do know during the time of Marcus Garvey, a lot of our people went to Africa. I do know that the Dayhurst colony took some people to Africa. It's a lot of confusion. I'm just trying to help everyone not get blocked in the confusion, y'all. And my time is short. So unfortunately, I gotta, I gotta end it like this. So saying a reminder, man. The reminder.
Tom fuckery.